Damn. I'm live? Okay. I'm going live on Twitch. I'm going live on Instagram. Y'all not letting me go live on Instagram. There's construction going on, so there's a lot of noise. It is annoying. What's up, guys? What is up? I don't know, but damn, what's going on? There's some things I gotta do over here before I can go live. I'm going live on so many softwares, like that's the point. The plan is to go live on TikTok. The plan is to go live everywhere, man. Whew. What y'all doing? What y'all really doing? Right. Oh, I see what's going on. I think I'm just gonna do this with TikTok. TikTok. You know what? I really want to go live on Instagram. This thing is so complicated. This thing is so complicated. Okay, how do I go live on Instagram? Instagram. I believe I'm live on Twitch. This is my first time going live on Twitch. What is up, Twitch? I should already be live on Twitch. Yep. What up, Twitch? What up, YouTube? Alright, IG, let's do it. Let's do it. IG. Go live, bro. This is actually way more complicated than you would think. You know? Alright, let me see. What's the live stream called? I don't know what to do about this noise. I can't tell them to stop. I can't make them stop. It's the time of day and this is the best time to stream. Can you guys hear it? Probably not. Copy. I don't understand. Instagram, I'm supposed to be live on Instagram, but it's not live. What the fuck? Oh my god, what the fuck? What up, TikTok? We are live. What does that say? What up, TikTok? We are live. What up, YouTube? We are live. I don't know what to do about all of this. I got so much going on. But I'm just going to try my best to do everything for you guys. Man. What up, TikTok? We are live. What up, TikTok? We are live. What up, YouTube? We are live. We are live everywhere. Today, I want to talk about a few things. A few trending conversations. Number one, Davido and Tiwa Savage. Let's get into that. Is Davido going to get canceled from Hollywood? That's the first one. Is Davido going to get canceled for Hollywood? We're going to talk about Jonathan Majors. We're going to talk about Taylor Swift. We're going to talk about everything in the news. If you're new here, welcome. Welcome to my live stream. I'm live across multiple platforms right now. Let's get into it. Okay. First conversation is Davido. I don't know if you guys have heard what is going on with Davido, but it is a mess. Oh wow, look, I'm live on Instagram too. Instagram, what's up? Can you guys see me? I'm live on Instagram too, it seems. I'm trying to stay live on Instagram. But I don't think I can see. What's going on? I'm live on TikTok, I'm live on YouTube, I'm live on Instagram. With Instagram, I'm trying to show my face. I think I'm gonna have to sit like over here. I'm gonna sit here with Instagram. Where am I? On YouTube. OBS. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, let's talk about it. Right. Davido. We're talking about Davido. We're talking about Tiwa Savage. We're talking about all of that. I don't know what's going on with my Instagram, but I'm trying. What's up, Instagram? I'm trying to stay centered, but I feel like you can't see my face. I'm trying to figure this out. Okay, anyway, let's just get into the video. So, Davido, Tiwa Savage. And that whole drama that's going on with them. I think the first thing I'll say, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up some Instagram. I'm going to open up some stuff that just talks about the story, and let's get into it. The question today is Davido going to get canceled from Hollywood because of this whole Tiwa Savage debacle? So we're going to get into that. Damn, it's giving me live. Oh, you guys can see me like full screen. Oh, you guys can see my full. Okay. All right. Instagram is good. All right. I don't have to be moving up and down or anything. It's TikTok. There's so many platforms I'm on right now. I'm on Twitch. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Instagram. I'm on everywhere. So, but let's get into this video. Instagram. So, Davido and Tiwa Savage. Davido and Tiwa Savage. Why is this happening to me right now? This is my first time going live on multiple platforms, so it is complicated. Okay. Look at that. So the question of today is, will Davido lose his Grammy nominations? Will he lose his Grammy nominations? So, before we get into that, we have to understand. I'm trying to open up this tea. What happened between Davido and Tiwa Savage? There we go. So let me open this up. This is a very technical process. So bear with me. All right, here we go. I'm about to start shortly. Just give me a second. I just need to figure this out. There we go. Okay, I think we're in. There we go, guys. Okay, so Davido. Let's talk about it. Davido and Tiwa Savage, they have beef. So what exactly happened, right? We hear that Tiwa Savage filed some sort of police report against Davido. So Let me read the police report first, and then I'll read their explosive conversation with each other. So this is Davido's. She sent this message to the police station in Nigeria, in Lagos. I'm writing to bring to your attention a distress situation involving myself, Tiwa Omolara Savage, popularly known as Tiwa Savage, and Mr. David Adeleke, popularly known as Davido. On September 23rd on the 23rd of December, I made a post in which included myself and Sophia Mahmood on my Instagram story, a feature on Instagram which allows you to put up a post for 24 hours. Mr. David Adeleke sent me messages to my manager, who is also part of his management team, and I should never say his team, and that I was taunting him, uttering very disrespectful, malicious, and derogatory words to my person. I responded to Mr. Davido Adeleke's message and told him not to reach out to me, especially as I feel like I have been there for him and his daughter Imade, and more importantly, when he lost his son. I'm going to talk about that because the disrespect in that comment. The events of that day have also led to a barrage of calls and messages from our mutual connections asking me what I did to Mr. David Adeleke. This is a long time ago. This is like December 23rd. Asking me what I did to Mr. David Adeleke and his upset that I choose to maintain a relationship with Imade's mother, Sophia Mahmood, who he's having issues with, and also painting the exchange to look like I was the aggressor. He has also told our mutual connections to warn me to be careful in Lagos because he's going to F me up. So this is a letter that Tiwa Savage allegedly sent to the Nigerian police department. And then we have these back and forths with Davido and Tiwa Savage. So if we see their texts, if we should see their text messages, or their Instagram messages back and forth, Tiwa Savage says, "I'll call you." David sends her a voice note. We don't have access to that voice note. Then we see it from, but after the voice note, it appears that Tiwa Savage responds, "David, please don't speak to me again. I have had enough of your evil ways. I was the first person at the hospital when your son passed." Bruh, I don't even know why you would say that. I don't even know why you would say that. You are evil, apparently. That's what she said. And then he said, "Don't ever mention my son in your life. I'll respect you because of Jamil." And then she goes, "You are effing mad. Try it when you see me. God punish you. Please come and try and see what you see." So apparently Davido allegedly has intimidated Tiwa Savage. He has intimidated her, and basically, he's intimidated her because she was hanging out with his baby mama, right? She was hanging out with his baby mama. He's intimidated her. It's interesting to me because I don't know. It's interesting to me because I just find it. I have so many things going on here. Where's this? Okay, there we go. Yeah. So it's interesting to me because I just find it. Okay, let's say Davido. None of this is proven, by the way, and some people have said different things online. A lot of these blogs have been posting this. But I think the first thing I have to say is that this idea that Davido is like sort of trying to silence his baby mama, I think is quite problematic, right? I think it's quite problematic that because he sees his baby mama hanging out with Tiwa Savage, who is obviously very popular, very famous. He has a problem with that. We don't know, obviously, we don't know all the details, but that's what it appears to be. And it's this typical thing that Nigerian men do that are in power. Especially when, I think what is more commonly done is when people are married and then they divorce. And then whoever is like the more successful one, typically the man, sort of like bullies and silences his woman and sort of like blacklists his ex in society so that nobody else is allowed to engage or talk or communicate with this ex, right? That's kind of like the agenda of a lot of Nigerian men when they're in powerful positions. But in this case, it's complicated because Tiwa Savage is an international superstar, right? And she's also very powerful herself. All the people that Davido can call up, Tiwa Savage can call up also. There's nobody that Davido can call. That, in fact, Tiwa Savage can call the King of England. Davido cannot call the King. Well, who knows? Maybe he can. But Tiwa Savage can call the King of England. Tiwa Savage can call. Do you understand? There's nobody that David has that Tiwa doesn't have. So it's like, her point is that you picked the wrong one. I'm not the one, right? So that's the first thing. That's the first thing. The second thing is that what's going on here? Okay. The second thing is that I think it's just problematic when Nigerian men think that they can silence their women or women using sort of like sexism. And here's now what the issue is, I think, with Davido and what he doesn't realize. I think he doesn't realize that he's an international act. He's an international superstar, right? And so is Tiwa Savage. And now, maybe in Nigeria, David has the power, right? Technically, when it comes to a man and a woman in Nigeria, the man is typically going to win because society is corrupt and is structured to support men over women. Typically, even when it, like at the end of the day, even when it comes to abuse, people will take the man's side. They will take the man's side, and especially because they like him. And Davido is a very likable person, so people just like him. So when it comes to the popularity contest, Davido is gonna beat Tiwa Savage in terms of not hopefully not physically, but he's going to win in the popularity contest. But this is what he doesn't understand. He is an international act, right? He is an international superstar. And the reason, like, okay, no matter what, he's going to be big in Africa. But he is obviously trying to be the biggest act out of Africa internationally. Right now, that crown goes to Burna Boy. So they quite obviously have this competitive thing, Davido and Burna Boy. Who is the bigger act? Who is the more respected one? And right now, I was at this event in Fashion Week, and Davido performed, and nobody really cared in New York Fashion Week. No one really cared, right? But if Burna Boy had performed at New York Fashion Week, everybody would have gone up their seats and be dancing. So when I say Burna Boy is a bigger act in America, and America is the gateway to the rest of the world. So that means that in Japan, in Korea, in wherever, Burna Boy is huge because he's huge in America. And that's obviously not always a given, because it's possible that in some, like maybe in the Middle East, maybe Davido is just bigger. But there are a lot of Nigerians in the Middle East. But when it comes to American influence, Burna Boy is the bigger act. Now, what helped Burna Boy become this huge act is winning that Grammy. Davido is nominated for 3 Grammys right now. 3 Grammys. So if you really want to make it on the global stage, you can't allow yourself to get canceled. That would be really, really stupid for you to let Tiwa Savage, because she has that power, to have you canceled on the global stage. All they have to do is they'll just snub you at the Grammys. They can change the thing quickly. Don't think that Hollywood isn't corrupt. They can change it quickly and remove Davido, right? They can change it quickly, remove Davido, and he's not going to win a Grammy. And so Davido needs to be careful. If what Tiwa Savage is saying is true, that Davido did this and he's threatening her life and all that stuff, if that is actually true, Davido is acting careless. Or no, not even careless. Carlos. That's the word. Because he doesn't realize, look at Jonathan Majors. Look at what they did to him in Hollywood. See how they canceled him. Yes, of course, they're not going to stop Davido from making money. He's still going to make money. But is he going to be in demand the same way that Burna Boy is? No. He claims, I can't remember how much money he said a show is, I think $900,000. Burna Boy is turning down $5 million. Burna Boy's price is 5 times your price. Right? And that's because he has the accolades. That's because he won the Grammy. That's because, he's released consistent hits, smash albums. And that's because he has a structured path, right? He's even when you go to his shows, backstage is cleared. You can't just hang around with your goons backstage. No. And it's very clear that Davido has branded himself as a guy's guy. He's branded himself that way. You see him with Chris Brown, who already doesn't have a good reputation. You see him in his shows. He always has like a lot of people backstage. He hangs around with everybody, even though he's the kind of guy that it seems like he's loved by everyone. At the end of the day, when it comes down to it, it's very, very, I don't know with Davido. I say all this to say that Davido is still on his journey and still on his process of climbing up the ladder in the West. And what that really does for you is that's why today people are paying him, I think he said $900,000 a show. It's because of your popularity in America. They weren't paying you they were not paying Burna Boy, however much per show before he won his Grammy. They were not paying you, Davido, that much money before you got on the charts in the US. So you need America's approval. And so you can't just act like a Nigerian big man, like what basically what's his name did. D'banj. When D'banj arrested the girl that accused him of sexual assault. And he arrested her. You can't do all this jungle thugging stuff. You can't do that. You can't, and then you now go and threaten Tiwa Savage, an international superstar that was performing for King Charles. That's who you want to be sending threats to, because you have power in Lagos State. Sit down. Sit down. Use your sense. Use sense. It's actually like, it's funny because he wants to be an international star. He's gonna have to act like an international star, and I'm not saying that. Like, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt and saying that I don't know if what Tiwa Savage has said is true. I'm not just going to jump and accuse Davido of that, because I don't know. There's no evidence. There's no video that she played of him threatening her. It's a he said, she said, he told somebody else. Anybody can take that information and twist it and turn it and do whatever. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to give Davido the benefit of the doubt and not come after his character and say that he's not a good person because he's threatening to abuse women, because I don't know that that's even true. That's what Tiwa Savage has said, right? By the end of the day, if it is true, Davido just should humble himself. Even if he was not sending threats about doing whatever, he just needs to humble himself, because I think this mentality needs to stop. This sort of like big man justice. Because I'm a big man, I can silence you and I can put you in jail, and I can just because Tiwa Savage is hanging out with his baby mama. That's why you want to be threatening her. Doesn't make sense. So people should just stop thinking that because they are successful and famous, they can just do whatever they want. And I love that there's going to be an accountability thing for Davido now. If that is the case, well, you're an international superstar. And unless you want to block your money, I know your dad has money and you can rely on your dad's money if you want. But if you want to block your money and your superstardom, you want to get canceled, like, what's his name? Chris Brown. If you want to follow that path, then you will continue doing what you're doing and threatening people and doing stuff like that. But if you actually want to wisen up, and just be humble, put your head down. I saw this quote that said, when you're winning, put your head down. When you're losing, keep your head up. So now that you're winning, humble yourself. Humble yourself. Because if you don't humble yourself, the world will humble you. So that's the first take on Tiwa Savage and Davido. So if it's true, I don't know. But it sounds messy, and God bless the two of them. I hope that nothing like this happens. God bless the two of them. I hope this doesn't happen. Okay, I see a comment on Instagram. It's hard. Well, it's so hard because men are wild, so any abuse claims by them are believable. Ah, man. She said, I don't trust anything in entertainment. Wait, what? Because we get invested by, they'll use us for pro? What do you mean? Okay, so men, I mean, this is the thing, right? They say that when it comes to men, that I can't remember the statistic. My friend had the statistic that said it's something like 90% of the time when a man has been accused of being abusive, it's actually true. It's actually true. Something crazy like 90% of the time. So if that is the case, if it's the case that, they did this, that Davido really said all this stuff, if he really did all that stuff, well. Okay, let me get into the next conversation. I want to talk about Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors. Let me play a little bit a clip from the whole YouTube thing. What do you guys think about Jonathan Majors, though? ABC, Jonathan Majors. All right, let's see. Let's check this out. Is this the right one? All right. It's a long interview, but
he was on his way to becoming one of Hollywood's brightest stars, with acclaim for his dramatic performances and a promising future as a Marvel villain. But now actor Jonathan Majors is facing the possibility of up to a year in jail after a conviction on misdemeanor reckless assault and harassment in connection with an altercation involving his then-girlfriend. He sat down exclusively with me for his first interview since his arrest, discussing the relationship at the center of the trial, the role that he says race played, and why he didn't take the stand.
Why did you decide you wanted to talk now?
I felt like it was time. A lot has happened in my personal life, in my career, in the culture, and conversely, the impact of this. It's about responsibility and coming forward and being brave and giving my part of the story.
In an ABC News exclusive, actor Jonathan Majors sat down with me in his first interview since a jury handed down a guilty verdict for reckless harassment, a misdemeanor, and a violation of harassment in the second degree.
You know, I haven't seen my daughter in a long time, you know, and a lot of it has to do with this situation. It all has to do with this situation, and she needs to see this, and the hard things need to be done. But it's been hard, you know. Everything's kind of gone away.
The 34-year-old actor was a rising star.
This is our family story.
Known for his roles in HBO's Lovecraft Country.
Cut behind her ear.
Laceration, yes, ma'am.
Fractured finger.
Yeah.
How did those injuries come about?
I wish to God I knew. That would give clarity. That would give me some type of peace about it.
But you're confident you didn't.
I have no question.
What's interesting about the jury's verdict, it's so nuanced because they're saying you didn't intend to injure.
All right, so here's my thing with Jonathan Majors, right? I low-key believe him. Like, as much as, like, I understand that the statistics say that majority of men, what's the statistic? Something like majority of abuse cases are, or majority of the times women are accurate about abuse cases. Even though that is the case, like something like, again, he was not convicted of a crime. So when it comes to Jonathan Majors, I actually do believe him. What I have an issue with Jonathan Majors is that, my issue with him is that, why are we, like, it's just like they're giving us all his business. How embarrassing. That's actually just my thing with Jonathan, right? If I was in his shoes, how embarrassing is that you are an actor and you have to explain the nitty gritty details of your personal life to, like, the world. Did you abuse this woman? Did you not abuse this woman? What happened? You know, to me, that's embarrassing. If that's what you, like, that's embarrassing that that's what you have to do. And so it's just, for me, it's just like, look at the title on TikTok. For me, it's just like, why even put yourself in that position that, you know, that could happen to you? And I know Dr. Umar Johnson says no snow bunnies. Don't date snow bunnies. I know that's what they say. Don't date snow bunnies. But it's just embarrassing that he dates this white woman, that he's asking her to act like Michelle Obama and Martin Luther King Jr.'s wife. Like, why don't you date a black woman then? And then it's so sad to me that I understand the whole testament when you think about Megan Good and the fact that, like, Megan Good is out here, like, it's when they have issues, that's when he wants to look for a black woman. Doesn't make sense. So when it all comes down to it, I don't know how I feel about Jonathan Majors. I feel if I was making a movie, I would hire him. I don't think he's a villain. I don't think all of these things. And I do believe that it's possible, just as we saw with Amanda Heard, it would not be the first time that we've seen a white woman lie. And, you know, and it seems as though he clearly said, look, I want it to be over. He starts dating Megan Good. That gives her every incentive to ruin his career. And I hate to say this, because I really do want to support anybody that's been, you know, experienced abuse. Someone said, right, him dating a white woman was where he first messed up. I mean, I just mean it's problematic. Why would you're dating a white woman and you get what you get? Like, it's just kind of like, I just feel like it's embarrassing. You chose to date this white woman, even though she's English, she's still of that mindset. And to me, it's like hard for me to feel sorry for him. I just feel embarrassed for him. That's actually just it. I feel embarrassed for him. Like, that's what that's the situation that you put yourself in. And then you try to clean it up and go and get a black woman. In fact, not just any black woman, you go and get Megan Good. All the things that Megan Good is. This icon, this beautiful actress. But also, Megan Good was also married to, what's his name? Can't remember his name. He used to be a preacher of my church. So she has that sort of like respect from the black church. So he's tapping into it's all like, I get the PR, it being people saying that it's a PR stunt, but at the same time, it's just wild. It's just wild. But anyway, I just feel like I feel embarrassed. That's my thing with what's his name? Jonathan Majors. I just feel embarrassed for him, and that's it. That's all I gotta say about that. This is one I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about The Color Purple. So apparently The Color Purple flopped in the theaters. The Color Purple flopped in theaters. And I know why. You know, they didn't understand why The Color Purple flopped in theaters. They didn't understand why, like Oprah, all these people, they bring all these, like, you know, young actors. They bring Halle Bailey, Taraji P. Henson. It's all this elaborate, grandiose cast of black excellence. And the movie flops. In fact, all the press around the movie created like this like toxic dynamic also. We have Oprah Winfrey, you know, calling us out about saying that her and Taraji are fighting. We have all this, there's so much Boosie talking crap about the movie. There's so much toxicity. There's a rumor that Oprah and what's her name are fighting. What's her name again? Whoopi Goldberg. They say they're fighting. So there are all these things that are causing this movie to just do badly. And you would think negative press actually increases sales. But we saw with Jada Pinkett Smith that negative press, specifically for black people, because a lot of people have, there's a lot of misogynoir that's in the world. A lot of people hate black women for no reason. And so I guess my point is, we're hearing all this negative press. So why is it that The Color Purple, I think it's only generated $54 million in the box office? Let me see, box office mojo. And the budget was like $100 million. Let me see. The Color Purple. What's up, everybody? I'm live streaming everywhere. I'm live streaming on Twitch. I'm live streaming on YouTube. Damn. I'm live streaming. Oof. Okay, so the movie made $54 million. Wow. And I think the budget, Color Purple budget, I'm going to tell you why this movie flopped. Ooh, it was $100 million. So the movie has been out for, I think, like 2-3 weeks now, and it's only made half of its budget. And now this, people are going to say, oh no, Hollywood is going to start canceling black movies because of this. No. The reason why this movie has done horribly, the reason why this movie sucks and nobody who's trying to watch this movie is very simple. It's the fact that we're tired of struggle love. Why do we always have to fund black movies that show us black men being aggressive and abusive to black women? Why do we have to keep funding movies about slavery and just negativity? It's just like, it's white supremacy porn, basically. Just showing struggle love in the black community, just showing racism in the black community. Why on earth would anybody want to spend in this recession? You think people are going to spend their hard-earned money, the money that they struggle to make in this recession? They're going to spend that money paying $25 in the movie theater to go and watch The Color Purple. That's not going to happen. Nobody's doing that. No one's going to watch The Color Purple. I realize that. I don't know what to tell you. Nobody's watching The Color Purple. That's not happening. We're not doing that. And that's the main problem. Like, it is 2024. We don't want to watch black struggle love. We are tired. We are sick of that content. In fact, when I think about struggle love in the black community, I think about The Color Purple. Not only did we watch the movie, we read the book in high school. I watched the Broadway play. We're tired. And that's the problem when you have white executives deciding what movies need to come out for black people. Oprah Winfrey owns OWN. Tyler Perry owns Tyler Perry Studios. We need to make our own movies. We need to tell our own stories. There's so many incredible black stories that can be told, but you choose to make a reboot of a struggle love drama of like a white supremacist porn and you push it to the black community like we're the ones that's supposed to watch that. Push that thing to white people. That's what white people want to watch. White people want to reminisce about the days when black people were mistreated. They want to fantasize about, you know, how black men are terrible and black men are abusive and all. That's what white people want. So push that movie, market that movie to white people. That movie's not for black people. It's like, it's so crazy to me because they're so tone deaf. We don't want to watch that movie. Just look at what we're having. Look at the conversations we're having online. I'm talking about The Color Purple if you're just coming in. Look at the conversations that we're having online right now, right? Ooh. Look at the conversations that we're having online right now. We're tired. Do they not watch the podcasts that we're always watching? Do they not watch? It's like they spend $100 million on white porn and they think that black people are going to pay and watch that. Do you not look at social media and try and do focus groups to understand what are black people actually watching? What are we actually trying to consume? Facts. The Color Purple has been done so many times. Movies, Broadway show, the book. I had to study the book in high school. I had to you know, watch the Broadway play. I watched the movie how many times? We are tired. And I know it's funny because even when it came out in the 80s, I think it came out in like 83 or something, there was controversy around it. The NAACP was pushing for black people not to watch the movie. I can't remember the reason why it was, but it's probably the same reason that we're pushing against it now. We're not going to pay for this movie now. We're not going to go watch this movie now because we are tired of black struggle love. So I don't understand why Oprah Winfrey, all these big names would even attach themselves to a movie like this. And it's so funny to me because I think about Halle Bailey being in this movie, and even just the whole situation with Halle Bailey right now getting pregnant is just a representation of things that black society wants to remove themselves from. So Halle Bailey is not the person. I know it was not intentional, but Halle Bailey is not the person that we want to look to when it comes to that. But anyway, so it's really, really interesting how this has all come together. And it's crazy to me how a lot of these people behave like they're tone deaf, like they don't know what we want. It's like, it's crazy. Oh, somebody tried to go live with me. It's crazy to me how these studios act tone deaf and they just think, oh, well, we think black people want to watch this, and then they just fund that because that's what they want. And then when we don't go watch it, then they'll say, oh, well, people don't want to watch black movies, so let's reduce the budget for black cinema. That's not how it works. And I definitely believe that it needs to be us black people funding black cinema because we're the ones that have to tell our stories. Nobody else is going to tell our stories for us. But The Color Purple is what you get when you allow white people fund black stories. So Oprah, Tyler Perry, y'all need to sit together in a focus group and figure out how you guys are going to get more money, wherever you need to get the money from, to make better films for black people. And that's just my take on that. I think the final thing I wanted to talk about was Taylor Swift, but I'm bored about that conversation. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Taylor Swift. Okay, the only thing I'll say about Taylor Swift is her being People of the Year. Taylor Swift being People of the Year in 2023 over Beyonce. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolute stupidity and buffoonery. It makes no sense. But anyway, that's all I got to say today. Thank you guys for tuning in. I have to fix my Instagram lives. I don't know what's going on with it. But thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, all the above. You're watching. My name is Kenim. You're watching me across multiple platforms. You're watching my, Brand Video Pro. Yeah, make sure you like, follow, subscribe. Thank you guys for tuning in. And I'll see you next time. Peace to everyone. All right, let me